lovelies, welcome back to my channel where we are constantly healing, growing, and glowing. I'm Angel.lenise, your divine feminine coach, here to guide you on your journey as you step into that more soft, more divine version of you. So if you're into that, let's get into this video. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hyped for y'all to be tuning in into another divine feminine healing series episode. Okay, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more divine feminine healing episodes, and share these messages with other divine feminines who are in healing so we can help build this soul tribe. Okay, so as I was recording the intro for my video, y'all, there are crows everywhere where I'm parked, and they literally just came out of nowhere. And that is so significant to what I want to talk about in today's video, because I feel like it's something that needs light put upon it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Oh my gosh, I'm finna let my see, this is why I edit, okay? But anyways, so I wanted to talk about really tapping in with God, okay? And I talk about having faith and trusting God and stuff like that. But one of the ways you can work on having faith and trusting is to pay attention to the signs, okay? And other creators that talk about that was a sign. Yeah. So one of the things that I have been going through when I know my intuition is speaking to me, or my angels are like, you're right on their head, my face and nose will tingle or itch. And that literally just started happening to me about like 2 weeks ago. Okay, so, and as an intuitive, it doesn't creep me out because I know that it's just another like sign. But to somebody that may not be tapped in and that may be new to like all this spiritual, divine feminine and all of this stuff, may be a little freaked out or may just not even pay attention to it. So one thing I feel like is super important, especially when you're on your divine feminine journey, right? Because being a divine feminine is more than just having morals, standards, and it's more than just self-care, self-love and all this stuff. It's really about you honing into your spirituality. And I really don't like to bash religion or anything like that, because I feel like no matter what religion or whatever you practice, we're all spiritual. But I do feel like a lot of the creators do talk about, you know, going onto this self-care and self-love journey, and one of the ways to do that is to start finding the beauty in like the boring things that we look over every single day. And one of those things are signs and synchronicities, y'all. When you see triple numbers, okay, when you start seeing numbers that are repeating, so you may see 234 or 556 or something, and you keep seeing it and keep seeing it and keep seeing it, that is a sign. Okay, and those are things that you need to pay attention to. I have been led out of so many situations with just following the signs and synchronicities. I have protected myself from certain stuff, dodged so many bullets, y'all, and the shit is real. Excuse my language, but that's just how passionate I am when it comes to those things, okay? And a lot of times we don't appreciate like the signs. Like there's a little dog, a homeless dog. She did have a friend, but I haven't seen the other dog in a while. But I started feeding them, right? Because that's just who I am. I'm a humanitarian. There goes my nose again. I started feeding them, right? And I truly think, you know, my angels sent that dog to me as a protector, because it was just straight up out of the blue. And I was sitting there thinking, maybe that dog is in front of my house for a reason, or maybe we're supposed to be connected somehow. And then I started getting notifications on my phone about, talking about making sure you are giving thanks and staying committed to giving thanks to God and your ancestors and stuff like that. And then immediately after that, I seen something about pets. I don't have any pets, okay? And then I would see posts or, whatever, and it'll say, make sure you're feeding your pet, or make sure you're giving to whatever. So I'm just like, that has to connect. And somebody that wasn't tapped in, that was listening to this, would be like, girl, you tripping. But no, it is a sign, okay? And it's not only divine feminines that are tapped in or that are intuitives. Men are too, okay? There's divine masculines out there that be tapped in every single day. They may get a call from somebody, and as soon as that person call you, all of a sudden you get a headache, or you start feeling nauseous, or your ears start ringing. Those are things that we kind of ignore. And I feel like when you are trying to understand a lot of your path and understand your purpose, and you're trying to find your soul tribe and find people who are supposed to be in your life, and you want to find love, and you want to find the perfect career, and those are little things that we need to pay attention to, because those are your angels trying to tell you, I don't think you should do that, or I think you should do this. And also, when you're wanting to learn, you're like, well, Angel, how do I learn to trust God? How do I learn to trust the universe? The first thing you have to do is surrender. Stop trying to have control over everything, right? Because that doesn't do nothing but just slow everything down. And you have to learn the lesson. You have to learn that part first, because if you don't, God will just continue to put you in these cycles and lessons of how to surrender, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I feel stuck, right? So in order for you to be able to trust in God, you have to surrender. So that means you can't worry about your money, even if you only got $5 in your bank account, okay? You literally cannot worry about it. You have to trust in God, okay? Say your little prayer, be like, God, this is what I need to do. This is what I'm going through, and you have to release it, okay? That also means you can't be falling in love with every single person that you meet and trying to control their every move, or trying to control the situation so much that you're pushing it away. You have to pray to God and tell God, send me somebody of you, and let it go and release it and walk away. But your only job from there is to pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the nudges, okay? Like, I know I've been seeing 444 a lot, which has a lot to do with protection. And I know my angels don't play about me already, but I know they've been on me a little extra right now with the protection. And I know that because as soon as I started recording this video, here comes all these crows, and y'all, they nowhere to be found, but I know I'm being watched over right now. I know I'm protected. But the birds, the signs on billboards, the numbers, and it's more than just that. It's literally your intuition. When you could be thinking about, the world's greatest cheeseburger, and then all of a sudden you get this weird feeling about, I don't know, it could be about a situation you've been kind of going back and forth, and you get this weird epiphany out of nowhere. That is a sign. And those are things that you need to trust, okay? And I know people think that spiritual people, we just talk a bunch of hoopla and we're just, but honestly, if you want to break out of the matrix, you have got to tap in. If you're trying to figure out if that person is for you, you have got to tap in. If you're trying to figure out what to do next with, your money, or with your career, or with your family situation, or just with you in general, you have to tap into those things, okay? And if you feel like it's hard for you to notice those things, you need to take out some time and meditate and go within, like I always say. But that plays a huge part in knowing how to trust, knowing how to surrender. If it's something like a bad habit, you know you need to cut, and it's been sitting on the top of your brain like, I need to cut this out, I need to cut this out. You still doing it, and you still doing it. You're like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But you still have that intuition in you. It's not gonna leave until you do it. And if you ignore it, we in spiritual world, we call it tower moments. You'll receive a tower moment, and you don't want that, because then God, the divine, has to step in and do it for you. And most of the time we don't like that, right? Because say for instance, if the bad habit is somebody that you need to get up out of a relationship with, and you sit here and you stand knowing you need to get up out of it, and you don't, and you just let it sit and go on, and you don't ever end it, guess what? God about to end it. Now your angels about to step in, because they done told you a month ago, right? And so that's when we start to see these crazy, outlandish breakups, or all of a sudden the person you with, even if they wasn't talking to you and y'all just been distant, they just snap and start fucking up your car, fucking up the house, cussing you out, and all this crazy stuff, right? Or threatening to do whatever. But that's because you didn't end it. So the divine had to end it, and you also have to learn a lesson from it. So I say all that to say, pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. Pay attention to pennies on the ground. Pay attention to feathers on the ground. Pay attention to that stuff. Y'all, I remember this was a long time. Well, this was a couple years ago when I was in my apartment, and I did not know how my bills were paid, but my bills were paid, and that was it. And I'm comfortable enough to tell this story because I've come a decent long way from this, okay? I didn't know how I was gonna put gas in my car, how I was gonna eat. I didn't know nothing, and I've never been a woman to depend on anybody else, okay? I will go out and Uber Eats and I will do it till my legs are broken down. But I knew my angels and God didn't want me out late and doing that stuff, because I was already working too. Like, I was working like a dog, okay? And just stressed out and tired. And I'm just like, God, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it no more, because every single time God made a way, every single time, right? And I'm young. I'm like 20, 21, 22, okay? So imagine, okay? And my hands had already been itching like weeks prior to that certain incident, right? And mind you, I'm just now really tapping into my spirituality, but I knew to trust God, right? And I knew that no matter what type of situation I'm in, I always make it out, okay? And mind you, I wasn't stressed out. I wasn't struggling. I was sitting on the phone with my best friend. But hey, my rent was paid. My bills were paid all at the beginning of the month. I'm comfortable, okay? But I'm sitting on the phone and my hands start itching insane. Like, I couldn't even focus on my phone conversation, because I'm like, God, dog, like, ooh, what is going on? And those are things. Now, I feel like the only type of sign people don't ignore is that one, because it has something to do with money. But literally, the next day, I'm coming home from work tired as hell. Stop at my mailbox. I find this envelope. It didn't have no name on it. It was just a blank envelope. And no, because it was like a not like an envelope like that mail comes in. It was just like a plain white envelope with $200 in cash. And I think I still may have the picture, and I may post it up here. But y'all, $200. And I wasn't stressed about money or anything. I just already knew that, I don't know, something was gonna work out, and it did. So those are things that I feel like, when you are wanting to just be able to put your full trust into God and your angels, when you are going through stuff, and not only when you're going through stuff just cause, right? But especially when you're going through stuff, pay attention to the signs. Pay attention, and don't be scared to ask for help, and surrender. You're a divine feminine. You work through love and light, especially when you know you're done all you can do, okay? Pray. Pay attention, tap in. I don't care if people call you cuckoo, crazy, whatever. You can't be no crazier than the people who catch the Holy Ghost in church and they start jumping around like acting a fool, okay? Pay attention to that stuff, because that will get you so far. It would eliminate a lot of stress. And that is just something that I have just been going through this whole week, and that's what I wanted to post about, okay? Yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got for this video. I'm not gonna edit it or anything, because I said I was gonna stop doing that. But for me to record and those birds to just come out of nowhere, y'all, I'm telling you, we are more than just this 3D matrix. Get up, go to work, come home, get up, go to work, come home, get up, go to work, come home. It's more to life than that. And I feel like if we really tapped in and started noticing all the magic literally around us, a lot of people will see that, oh my gosh, it's literally set up this way. And you will start to notice a change in different perspectives. And a lot of times when you healing, right? You healing and you on a good streak. You doing good, you keeping yourself up. You may get down and it may get hard, and you'll receive a sign, and we be so nose turned up and in our ways we don't want to notice it. But God is always there. Your angels are always there, okay? You're never alone. Even if you're alone physically, you're never alone, okay? So that's all I have for this video, Divine Feminine. I hope you gained some sort of motivation or inspiration from it. Again, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more Divine Feminine healing content, and share these messages with other Divine Feminists who are in healing, so we can help build this soul tribe. Y'all, I'm excited. I'm about to go see Sinners, and I am just, I'm so excited, okay? Apparently, the movie is really good. My best friend has already seen it, and she's trying to take me back to go see it again. So, I'm assuming it's good. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. But y'all be good. I'll be sure to tune back in as soon as I can to speak with you beautiful Divine Feminists later, okay? Peace.